but then I'll never be able to find out what's going on with my chart. Either way, I'll figure it out. Hello to my YouTube fans. I'm no longer an artist. I'm just someone who talks. So, welcome to Gay Socialism and Pizza. Got a slice from a local place. So, and by local, I mean a national chain. So, a little bit about me for those who don't know. Um, Ian Ileona. I'm a veteran musician. I suffer from PTSD, so the idea of going outside and doing things is just a lot. But that doesn't stop me from wanting to be a community leader. So that's why I started socialism, gay socialism, and pizza. It's a way to discuss what we can do to protect our own community. I was very distressed to hear that in Germany, the coach that proposed to his longtime boyfriend was attacked not just once, but twice. Even under police protection, still attacked. And you know the reason why? There's a lot of reasons why, really. Well, one of the major reasons why is there was no solidarity between themselves and their own community. I'm a messy eater. This is going to be a messy eater today. Hold on. Okay, so that should fix things there. And then here, doesn't seem to be a problem. Hmm. So I guess we're on this thing where we do simulcast now. Hmm. My heart goes out to this referee who just wanted to do his job, but also share a little bit about himself, share this beautiful moment of telling someone that you really love them. And the response to that is violence. Sure, that happened in Germany, far away from America. I live in America right now. Shame on me. That level of violence happens here too. So what do we do? The answer is clear. It's you let your community That's the end of that conversation. For some people, it is. I relayed the story of the time I went to the San Francisco Gay and Lesbian Center, and I said, look at all these people that work there. There's a certain camaraderie there. And in that building, for that moment, they feel safe because they're surrounded by other people who are either gay, lesbian, transgender, or an ally. I wish that were true. I wish that it was true. That's all it took. Four walls and maybe 5 to 10 other people who tolerate your lifestyle. It's not enough. Gay people are being hunted, gay people are being abused, gay people are being attacked. The governments do nothing. Why? Because gay people are the ultimate customer. They like to delude themselves into thinking that everything should be family friendly and that's wonderful. But gay people spend more. They have the ability to spend more sometimes. They're just customers to the government. They're not a protected class because if they were, they would treat them with a little bit of respect. The respect to say that even if it wasn't a high profile thing, maybe we do have to acknowledge that there is so much hate in the human race against LGBTQIA people that things like walking around outside are dangerous, risky. For some gay people, it's easy to look the other way. You either that luck that most gay people feel that they have in their lives only extends so far. Maybe as far as your own apartment or house, but I wouldn't even take that for granted. Maybe as far as your block, you might have some decent neighbors. But when you go further than that, the risk increases exponentially. These people that you walk by, you don't know what triggers them, you don't know if you're being targeted. You just try to go about your day. You try and enjoy your life. But they don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see anybody happy. Hold on. I'm going to get myself another slice. Oi. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Stay off my bed. God damn all this. Every community is different. And thank you for so patient for you to wait. For I be so impoverished and hungry. Watching you, lady. Yeah. Right. Sorry, it's an internal joke. If you're lucky to find a good community, it's something to be proud of. But if you're searching for one, I want to build one. It's going to take me a while, maybe a year or two, but I'm looking for other gay men like myself or bisexual, whatever, to form a community, a place of safety, a place to, at the very least, relax, deal with real things, Deal with support for once in your life. So I'm going to have these gay socialism and pizza chats from now on. I happen to see that Uganda is doing something very anti-gay. Why do they hate us so much? We're people just like you. We even like the same things. I like pizza. Do you like pizza? I guess I should probably go over the skill sets I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are trainable. I'm looking for people who maybe have a background in engineering or would like to learn, or a background in medicine and would like to learn. This community I'm building, I'll have to tell you that it's just going to be a monastery for the most part. It's not religious, it's just for men who want quiet contemplation and maybe some technology, but not in a way that it's intrusive to your life, that it enhances it. Living in America, there's just so many things that distract you from your purpose, distract you from who you can be. Money is one of those things. Hopefully, people can hear me. Having money is very nice. Having a community that you can be yourself, that you can be supported during your important moments, that's priceless. People are covering this hate crime in Germany. Lovely photo of a black guy and everything. Reminds me of some of my campaigning against American military sexual trauma, which is government torture. No one is asking those hard questions. I want to interview the guy. I really do. I want to reach out to him just as a person, not as a podcaster, but as a person, because I need to know, where are your friends? You work as a referee in sports, and you mean to tell me that no one was willing to walk with you before the first attack, and then after the first attack, still no one reached out to you? Your own job didn't say, we have to pool money together to put a personal security detail for our employee. I guess that should tell you about how much they appreciate your contributions. The sports players themselves, they make millions of dollars. A private security detail would cost them fractions on that, but maybe some good press, maybe some humanity would be restored. That's not what happened here. As much as I'm having a hard time with going outside and talking to people in general, I mean, after all, just to get this pizza, I had to have my PTSD trigger of the day. That's not going to stop me from going directly to the United Nations up in Vancouver. It's not going to stop me from holding a conversation with them about LGBT rights and human rights and environmental issues, because somebody has to speak to this United Nations and say, I don't think you represent all of us. Because if you did, you would handle things like that differently. It's a little bit of my time, a little energy. I had to think long and hard about whether or not I still want refugee status from a foreign nation. That would be too easy. It would be too easy to get a fellow nation to admit that America was wrong. It's much harder to say that America is wrong for torturing its own citizens and allowing their hate crimes to occur. So, despite the efforts of these West Coast people to shove people in my way, I'm not going to stay in your goddamn cities. I am clearly on that werewolf mutant thing. I don't fit in. I'm not going to try to. But I will stay and fight in my own way. Hello again. Gay people need to come out of the ghettos and back into towns. But the right towns, their towns. For far too long, we've had this attitude of if we work for them, if we live beside them, if we cut their hair and help them out of those tragic clothes into something vaguely reminiscent of fashion, they'll finally accept us. That that day never came, and I don't think it will. Gay people need to learn how to respect ourselves. We need to learn how to say enough is enough. Every single one of these attacks is a wake up call to some of us, but it doesn't appear that everyone's listening. In order to have a hate free zone, you have to leave. It might seem like you're abandoning all of the comforts and things that you thought made you happy. Oi, couldn't be further from the truth. In a brand new community, you can decide what makes you happy. And sometimes what makes you happy are things that you can take with you or you can start anew. Life is hard enough as it is. So why do gay people want to work for homophobes? Why do gay people want to live next to homophobes? They may not spit in your face, they may not punch you every single day, but there is a day that they might. Do you still want to be there for that? I don't. I'm proud to be gay. And in a way, I guess I am proud to be an American, even if I am a socialist. There is room in space throughout the entire country to build, protect, and endure, support one another. If we continue on this path of coexistence with heterosexual people, it'll take generations to even get close to a day where hate crime statistics are in sky high. Or perhaps we could just call it and say, I'm done being a punching bag for straight people. I'm done being abused by this country that allows hate crimes to occur because of lack of police presence, because of a lack of community involvement, and also just a lack of caring. If you had enough, it's time for a change. It's time for a change throughout this country. If you live in Philadelphia and Philadelphia says we don't want gays anymore, then guess what? Let them have it. Let them have that city. The city was filled with smog. The city was filled with people with road rage. The city is filled with homophobes. Same with Florida. If Florida says it doesn't want gays anymore, then gays have to say, you can have Florida. You can have the hurricanes. You can have the bigotry. I'm going to live in a nice mansion with a bunch of gay people. And by the way, living with a bunch of gay people might mean that you get to, actually talk and interact with each other instead of this pseudo thing that we have of, well, I mean, I guess I have straight friends and maybe they support me or maybe they don't. Or I have a bunch of girlfriends that I support, but I don't talk to gay guys anymore because if I was in a relationship, if I walked down the street holding hands with my partner, then I could be a victim. No. What you need to do is be with your own kind, be with your own people, and enjoy that. Enjoy the liberation of saying you can hold hands with your partner, you can be yourself without worrying whether or not you're butch enough. Hold on. Dog of dogs. All right. All right. Literal food for thought for gay socialism and pizza. Spicy. Some people have the luxury of being a private person. I suppose I can't. Because if my people are hurting, no matter what country they come from, sorry, which country they come from, I just want to help. Maybe this idea of separate is more might translate to international communities as well. Because as enlightened as you think you are, it only takes one hate crime to show you the true colors of your community. And it's not a rainbow flag. Oi, what's my all right. Gay people have fought for the right to coexist for decades. It's not getting any easier. It's not getting any better. Forming a brand new community, a brand new town, does put a little, a fucking I cannot speak English to save my life. It puts a lot of eyeballs on you. I don't know why I couldn't say that like 2 seconds ago, but anyway, it puts a lot of eyeballs on you on your town, on your people. But isn't that a good thing? When the world is watching, then they can also be held accountable. So I am going to speak to the United Nations in Vancouver, but I am going to inform them that this idea of hate crimes being isolated incidents in separate countries is false. They used to say homosexuality was a disease, it was a sin. I say homophobia is the true plague upon the land. I'm gonna get some pizza. Be back. Burdens of my gay brothers internationally are felt by me. I don't know this particular referee, not personally, but I will see to it that this man wants for nothing. He has his partner to take care of him, but he's been let down by everyone else around him. He was let down by his city, he was let down by his province, he was let down by his country, he was let down by his job. I hope they march in Germany. I hope they march. I hope they boycott. I hope they demand restitution. I hope they demand there be consequences, penalties, Some would say it's just a hate crime on a single person. What does it matter? It could be a violent attack by a crazy person. Twice? Twice he was attacked? I do love Germany, mostly because of Film, which is one of the best porn companies to ever exist. The best. I can't believe I'm going to have to consider whether or not I boycott German goods. By the gay community anymore. Do I speak for the whole entire gay community? I certainly hope not. But I hope that you can agree. I hope that you can find it in your hearts to say that you may not have known this person, but if you're gay, most likely you've been a victim of hate crime at least once in your life. This has been Gay Socialism and Pizza. I hope to see you on the next podcast.